Hey, good afternoon, everyone. This is Erin. It's 4:31, so I think we'll go ahead and get started. I'll start by reading the special note. This meeting shall be conducted pursuant to Minnesota Statute 13D.021, and members will appear electronically. All votes shall be taken by roll call, and each member of the board will be able to hear each other. No public comment shall be taken at this meeting, and public access will be restricted to comply with the state health guidance during the pandemic. Comments can be sent to pgurung@rplmn.org and will be shared with the board. Citizens can view a live stream of the board meeting on the library's YouTube channel at www.youtube.com/user/rochpublibrary. A recording will be available after the meeting on the library's website. I will call us all to order. First item of discussion is the agenda. Any discussion on the agenda?
Erin, can you do a roll call, please?
Oh, yep. Sorry. I've got Josh. Can you confirm, Josh?
Yep, I'm here.
Stephanie?
Here.
Sarah?
Here.
Jenny?
Here.
Adam?
Here.
Antonia?
Here.
Amy?
Here.
And I think that's everyone. Did I miss anyone? Okay, we'll move on. Any discussion on the agenda? I'll ask for a motion to approve.
Oh, Erin, sorry, we do have that one, the extra contract that got added that I had sent email about.
Okay.
Okay. So we need to add that under new business.
Thank you, Audrey.
Yep, sorry.
So we all did receive an email of that adding to the agenda then? Any discussion? I'll ask for a motion.
Motion to approve, Amy.
Thank you, Amy.
Second, Antonia.
Thank you, Antonia. Any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll do roll call. To approve, say aye or nay. Josh?
Aye.
Stephanie?
Aye.
Sarah?
Aye.
Jenny?
Aye.
Adam?
Aye.
Antonia?
Aye.
And Amy?
Aye.
And I also vote aye. Motion carries. We'll move on to the consensus agenda. Any discussion? Okay, hearing none, I'll ask for a motion to approve.
Motion to approve, Antonia.
Thank you. We have a second.
Amy, second.
Thank you, Amy. Any further discussion? Okay, we'll vote by roll call again. Yay or nay? Josh?
Yay.
Stephanie?
Yay.
Sarah?
Yay.
Jenny?
Yay.
Adam?
Yay.
Antonia?
Yay.
Amy?
Yay.
And I also vote A. Motion carries. We'll consider the agenda approved. We'll move on to President's business. And we'll start with the introduction of our new board member.
So the city council approved the appointment of Kristen Robinson to the library board. Kristen, would you like to introduce yourself, please?
Surely. I'm Kristen, and I am extremely happy to be here, and it's very nice to make everyone's acquaintance. I'm very excited to be joining you all and all the good work that you all do. Yeah, I'm just very excited, and I won't say too much, but as it states on the document there, oh, I realized I could turn on my camera, so I guess you can see my face. The lighting is bad in my room, so that's why I have it off. But just a little background. I'm originally from Flint, Michigan, but I've been in Rochester for 13 years now, and I've been a big library user since I've gotten here. So I just always wanted to have an opportunity to give back in any way possible, and this is a great opportunity. So thank you all for having me.
Welcome.
Welcome,
Kristen.
Thank
Yes.
you very much.
Thank you, Kristen. We're very excited to have you here.
Thank you so much, and I look forward to doing great things. So thank you so much.
Wonderful. Thank you again. Welcome. Next up, we have board recognition for Miss Amy Ward. Amy's last meeting is with us today, so we are saddened to let her go, but we are just thrilled that we've had the opportunity to have Amy on our board for the past years. So thank you, Amy.
Thank you.
I really appreciate your leadership.
Thanks, Audrey. It's been an honor to serve with such great influential leaders and people who have drive and purpose and intentionality. And it's just been a great experience for me to connect to the community and to meet a lot of different people I never would have. And I'm very honored. And I'll continue to be an advocate for you as long as I live here.
Oh, that's wonderful to hear, Amy. Does anyone else on the board have anything they'd like to say to Amy? Thank you, perhaps.
Amy, it's been so great to serve with you, especially following up behind your footsteps as well. Just so excited to have you on the board and being a mentor to me all these years. So I'm going to miss you. You've been a great advocate for the library and all the amazing things that you've brought to our team. So thank you again.
This is Adam. I completely agree. Thank you, Amy, for the service for the board. I know we haven't worked together for very long, maybe close to a year, but thank you as well.
This is Josh. Thank you, Amy. I know we served in some movies together, and that was awesome. I thank you for your leadership and everything I learned from you. So I wish you luck.
You will be greatly missed, Amy. Thank you for everything.
I agree. You'll be very much missed, especially on the policy board. Sure.
So Audrey, how will we get this lovely, very amazingly designed certificate to Amy?
We will mail it to you, Amy.
Sounds great. Thank
Yeah,
you.
I know that's not very exciting in a COVID world, but it's safe. It's safe.
Right.
Wonderful. Okay, we'll move on then to nominating committee. You have in front of you our proposed slate of officers for 2021. Presidents would be Antonea, Vice President Josh, and Secretary Adam. These are the slate of officers, and we will vote on these individuals in January. Anything to add to that, Audrey?
Nope, nope. Unless the board has questions.
Okay, thanks in advance to those on the list, and we will vote in January. We'll move on to the foundation report. I think I saw Brenda on the list of participants. Brenda?
Oh, I didn't even think about speaking today. Aaron, would you mind covering me today? I'm on an email with some speakers I'm trying to line up for an overview of maybe what we went over tonight. I hate to lay that on you, but is that okay?
Absolutely. So the foundation met yesterday, had a celebration of the year, a very successful year for the foundation. Most of highlight recently was the closing of the silent auction, which was a success by every measure. We met our goal, and we exceeded our goal actually of $5,000. And I don't remember the exact amount over that, but it was definitely a success. We used a new platform for the silent auction, and it was all virtual, of course, and it went very smoothly and very well. We also are looking forward to Wit, Wisdom, and Wine, our event in early 2021, looking at lining up some really great speakers and a small auction at that point too. Amy, did I miss anything?
Nope, I think you covered it.
So just big thank you to the foundation. It's been a great year, and we really appreciate the support for foundation.
So I'll just jump in and say the dates. It's January 28th, 29th, and 30th. We're going to do evening sessions on Thursday and Friday, and Saturday we'll lead off with Audrey talking about leading the library through the pandemic. We'll have virtual charcuterie experience, wine tasting experiences, and even aquavit if you are of Scandinavian heritage or even want to try some of that kind of firewater. So hoping that everybody will participate or share the event with people. Thank you.
Thanks, Brenda. Do we have a friends report today?
I don't think there's anything new since last month.
Sorry, I got disconnected there for a second. Do we have a friends report?
Nothing new since last month.
Okay. So from Josh.
I don't have anything new this month.
Okay. Thank you. Sarah, do we have a youth representative report?
Yeah, I can talk a little bit about that. Can you all hear me okay?
Yes, thank you.
Wonderful. All right, so this month was, of course, a busy one, but especially for the Youth Commission, we went before the County Board of Commissioners to bring forward a resolution to ban conversion therapy in Olmsted County, which did pass. So that was very exciting for us, and it will be moving on to other offices. We are also working on contacting local officials and welcoming newly elected officials through the Youth Commission. And then another big event that youth just in Rochester are focusing on around this time is all three main public high schools have a large winter fundraiser at this time. So from John Marshall, where I am from, we have JM Gives, and then Century has Bear Creek, and Mayo has GOFA. And each of these fundraisers raise a lot of money for local charities. So that's something that we are all working on. And then just in general, we have a couple citywide gift and clothing drives through different youth organizations like the Rochester Community Initiative and through, of course, those winter fundraisers. So that's what we've been doing.
It's a lot of great work, Sarah. Thank you. Okay, we'll move on to old business then.
Did you want to do the contract in new business?
Oh, yes. Do that.
So the contract is so the call center can continue their work using the translation service. So that was the contract that was emailed out. And so we would need a motion to pass that. There is no cost on it. And Kim, I don't know if you want to say anything.
Sure, I'm happy to speak on this issue. You know, the library has subscribed to Language Line, and we still do, and it is used. However, in the mobile environment, Language Line is a little bit more challenging to use. The community action group with the Onset Public Health wants to make a specific outreach to communities of color in Rochester to make sure that they know help and support is available to them. They were concerned that we didn't have really strong interpretive resources for the call center. So this will help make it a lot easier for us to use interpretive services for people who call that don't speak English. I will also note that we are very grateful to have Laura Randolph on staff who speaks Spanish. She has been helping a lot of the Spanish speakers who call the call center for assistance. If anybody has any questions, I'm happy to answer them as well.
I guess I have a question, like, why is it only restricted for COVID calls?
We have, that's a good question. I think it's because because of the licensing issue with the county and that we are acting as an agent on the county. If we were to be using it for library calls, we would have to incur additional costs. We do have a service, but like I said, it works much better with the VoIP phones that we have in the office. It's a lot harder when we're using our personal cell phones.
Okay.
So Jenny, we can actually use it, but we would just incur a fee if it's library business, which when we use Language Line, there's a fee for that too. So that isn't a barrier.
Got it. All right. Thank you.
Any other questions or discussion? Hearing none, I'll ask for a motion to approve.
I can motion to approve.
Thank you, Jenny.
I'll second the motion.
Thank you, Adam. Any discussion? Okay, we'll vote by roll call. Yay or nay, Josh?
Aye.
Stephanie?
Yay.
Sarah?
Yay.
Jenny?
Yay.
Adam?
Yay.
Antonia?
Yay.
Amy?
Yay.
And Aaron votes aye. Okay, motion passes. Okay, we'll move on then to the Charter Commission letter. Audrey, can you give us some background? This is a continuation from last meeting.
Correct. So last month we had talked about the Charter Commission, which is going to meet in January to take a position on making the library board and the park board both advisory rather than governing. And so since in the discussion last month, the library board disagreed with that decision and asked that Aaron and I work with the park board executive director and their board president to draft a letter. And so, so since last meeting, the four of us met, and this, what you see in front of you is what went before the park board earlier this month, and they approved it. And so we're looking for your approval tonight for us to send that to the Charter Commission and City Council.
Do you have the opportunity to make minor changes, or do we have to approve it exactly as it is?
I would say it depends on how minor they are, whether they're, I haven't actually had that conversation with the park board to see whether they would need it to go back through their board. I mean, we'd absolutely have to share those changes with them. So,
okay, well, with that being said, just two things then. In the third paragraph, the inshore does need to be changed to enshore, like e-enshore.
Okay.
In two instances, so that's just a grammatical change.
Oh, sure. That I don't see any problem with.
Yeah, and then if there was a possibility to make smaller change, like additional changes, I would have just recommended that some of the language we have in paragraph 5 be moved up to paragraph 3. So it's really just as you begin the letter, it's very impactful and you understand that, you know, these are some of the benefits. You kind of have to read down into the body of the letter. But if that's complicated, then just make the grammatical changes would be my recommendation.
Okay, so all right. Yeah, it would be easier to make the grammatical changes.
Got you.
But you don't have concerns about the actual content?
No,
just placement.
More so.
Okay,
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, my editor hat was on when I looked at it. I apologize.
I totally understand. Yeah.
We love that editor hat, Antonia. Other comments? Okay, hearing none, then we'll look for a approval or a motion to approve the sending of the letter with the minor changes that Antonia suggested in the grammatical field.
I make a motion to approve.
Thank you, Stephanie. Do we have a second?
Second, Amy.
Thank you, Amy. Any further discussion? Okay, we'll vote again by roll call. Yay or nay? Josh?
Yeah.
Stephanie?
Yay.
Sarah?
Yay.
Jenny?
Yay.
Adam?
Yay.
Antonia?
Yay.
Amy?
Yay.
And Kristen?
Kristen won't vote till next month.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It would have been yay.
Sorry. And then I also vote yay, Aaron. Okay. All right, motion carries. We will send the letter. Next up is the library building project update.
So I had sent an email after the board meeting, or after the city council meeting on Monday. So no decisions were made. Obviously, the number came in pretty high. I think there's a whole lot of discussion that needs to happen about, because how, with this being a multi-use development, there's there's some cost sharing that's going on, and so I think there's some questions about how that's being divided. I think there's questions about land cost. The council certainly brought up, the fact that the existing library building isn't part of it. So, you know, if that, if that's in the equation, that would bring some of the costs down for the library building. So I think there's still a whole lot of discussion. But, you know, at the current price, it's going to make it a real, it's a steep climb. And so I think there's a lot of questions out there. You know, the good news is that they really moved this to the future council, that they didn't stop the project. So, but I do think there's a lot more conversation and more work that has to be done. Questions?
Hey, Audrey, last question and more comment as I sent you in that email.
Yep.
I think that it's really necessary for us to put out a statement that really speaks to the reasoning behind development of a new library, and really speak to the benefits and the related costs of doing some of the other ideas I've seen floating out there. I feel like with the post bulletin article, you're really not including all of that detail. There's really a lack of understanding for why the board even voted in such a way and what the board's rationale is. And I think our discussions have happened over the course of the last 3 years. So for someone to go search through minutes would probably be very time consuming. So we should really put out a statement, really clarifying our position and really explaining kind of the cost benefit analysis that was really being conducted to result in choosing a new development.
And so what Antonia is talking about for new for everybody is back in 2017, the planning committee sat down with every single library board member, and the library board came up with a 1 or 2 page document that really gave an overview of why or what the board was in support of. And we can certainly brush that back off and maybe bring that back to the next board meeting for something, for a unified statement from the board, if that's something you want to do.
And am I allowed to speak to things that I've seen private citizens mention? I'm not really sure what the legality is of bringing that up in this conversation. Can you speak to that? Am I able to talk about it?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's public comment. I mean, you might want to speak more in generalities.
Okay, sure. There was an incoming city council member who posted a comment basically with the post bulletin article and speaking to this potential development and looking for feedback from, you know, residents. And I would say that the comments I saw were mostly actually all negative, really against this new build and questioning why the library would want to spend this much money on a new site, questioning whether, you know, there would be accessibility options, really wondering why we're going for a new build instead of, you know, doing branch libraries. And so I feel like there really was nowhere for the residents to turn to really understand the reasoning behind this. And it was kind of disheartening to see such negative public opinion. And if that's how residents feel with all the information, you know, with them knowing all the information, I think that's great for us to know as a library board. We should make our decision with that in mind and really do what residents want. But I feel like there's a lack of information available at the moment.
Yeah, I very much agree with what Antonia is saying. I think it's on us to share the why, share the benefits to the community. And I don't think we've done a good job of that at this point.
Yeah, I'd be happy to pull that back out. And do we want to, Antonia, as incoming board chair, do you want the two of us to work on that for the January meeting? Erin,
Sure.
You want to be involved?
I'm happy to be involved.
Okay. Okay, we'll bring that back for discussion for the next meeting.
Well, before we move on, I'd just like to know if others on the board feel the same way. I don't want this to be the Aaron and Antonia show.
True.
Well, except,
I agree.
sorry.
I mean, I agree that we've had a lot of work behind the scenes, and we've shared in this forum, but I feel like it's been kind of trickled to the public what we've done through other post bulletin articles or through comments made at the different meetings. I just don't know if the whole picture is there, and it would be nice for everyone to know that we've spent a lot of time on this. This isn't just a flash in the pan idea, that this has been something that we've worked on for, like you said, 3+ years, probably even longer than that. And so we aren't making decisions just because we have an opportunity. It's because we need it. It's a need. So I would agree with Aaron and Antonia on that.
And I was just going to remind the board of all the work that went into the strategic planning and the building program. It wasn't just the board sitting in a room. There was a lot of community engagement through that strategic planning to help inform the program.
Very true. Thanks for adding that, Audrey.
I'm in support of
I
this.
don't think it
well.
hurts. Go ahead, Amy.
Okay, I wanted to say I'm in support of this. Well, I just think there's a lot of people without a lot of information. And especially right now when people aren't going in the building to see how it looks and aren't seeing some of the things, the aging, what it would cost to repair, things like that. I just think some of that, not in detail, but of mentioning, would probably just be helpful to inform the community, however that looks. So I just think, when you're not going somewhere and seeing it all the time, it's kind of out of sight, out of mind. And unfortunately, that's the spot we're in right now. And you're probably not going to have people back in your building for a while yet. So I just think as we move forward, it just makes sense to re-educate that this has been a timely process, that there has been back work. I know that's hard to do in an article that the news highlights 3 things of which they find important as well. So, but to be out there and be able to explain that can only do good, I would believe.
And I was just going to say, I'm always a big fan of making sure people know the why behind why we want to do things. Because if somebody understands the why, or if we have a statement showing what we've done and why we're going this direction, it makes it a lot easier for people to buy into what we want. When I first started the board, I was of the mind of going to branches, and then going through the process, it made more sense to build up. And then now that we have this great opportunity to build new and not actually lose our spot in downtown, is great. And, being able to articulate that and show how our process has changed and why we're doing what we want to do I think it's a fantastic idea.
Okay, sounds like we have a plan then. We will bring something back to the board in January. Thanks, everyone. We'll move on now to the director's informational items and a fine-free update. Audrey?
I'm actually going to turn it over to Karen.
Karen?
And I'm operating 2 things here, so forgive me if it takes me just a second. All right. So in May, we approached you with a plan for measurements for going fine-free. And we just wanted to kind of give you an update and mention that we would like to change our measurements a little bit. So you can see on the screen that these were the ones that we wanted to look at the summary data of library usage, break it down by geographic area, because we could easily break down by zip codes. If you'll recall, we did look at what I call cardholder saturation rates throughout the city of Rochester. And we noticed that we had more individuals with fines in the Northwest and the Southeast, but fewer cardholders. It wasn't relative. So we want to look at that again. We want to see how how people are using the library, and if we're able to reach more individuals in the Northwest and the Southeast. We wanted to do a survey after 6 months, but COVID's really changing that. So we're proposing to just give it a full year of being fine free before conducting a survey, because hopefully by June, COVID will be less of a factor. And if not, we will have a full year of COVID being a factor. So it should be, we think that's a better time to do a survey. We also had thought about, we want to look at our return rates and our overdue rates. We ran the data before, and so we'll compare it. Our plan is to compare it at the end of this month, and then we would have that 6 months worth of data. For the last one, we're still trying to figure out the best way to gather this. We know right now this number, or getting at a number of how long items are on hold and if they're being returned back and taking longer. It's really hard to get at, and it's even harder because we've had so many issues right now with just, we put our items on the hold shelf and we intentionally leave them there longer with COVID and with our curbside pickup than we did previously. So we're trying to figure out the best way to get to this, and hopefully we'll have that update. What we wanted to do is go through these and make sure that these were okay, and find out if you had any feedback on other things that you were hoping to see. I think for me, and I don't know if the board feels this way, but going fine free, it was just kind of not that it was a wah moment, but it wasn't as public because so many other things were going on. So it just was absolutely the right thing to do, and it came at a time when people really needed that assistance. But I will stop talking so you can give me feedback on this plan for measurements, because we'd like to bring something back to you for the January board meeting. Did I lose everyone?
No, this is Aaron. I think that sounds reasonable. I appreciate the complexity that COVID has thrown into all of these great plans that we had. I would support as you've got outlined. What do others think?
I would agree. This is Stephanie.
Yeah, this is Jenny. I don't have big concerns. The only thing is I could see the survey being postponed further than June as, something that we would adjust later.
Great. Thanks, Karen. So we'll move on to the library services update.
So I just want to give you an update because the city remains in severe. So we're kind of in a holding pattern. As soon as we drop out of severe, so it goes severe, high, and then moderate. So when we go out of severe, we will put internet access back in place, because we dropped internet access when it got into severe, and so that will be the first. And then as soon as we get into moderate, we will have the Library Express, where we'll have people back in the building, so that those plans are still in place. And that information comes out on Friday. We get a weekly update on where we are on that meter. And so that adjustment will take place the following week for services. So, but curbside is going really well. And the walk-up windows are also going well. I don't know if Andy, do you want to give an update on curbside?
Our numbers continue to go up. We're doing like 35,000 now, and so it's very popular, more popular than when we were open even.
And the custom collections are also going really well. Heather, do you want to report on that?
Sure, yeah, it has been very consistent, and every time Karen puts it on social media, we get a little bit of a bump.
And so, Kim, do you want to give any more update about the call center?
Well, the call center activity tends to very closely align with the COVID activity in the community. We have been also partnering with Channel One to help facilitate food delivery for people who are food insecure in the community. Those calls are a little bit time consuming, and we've had a lot more of them. And I do know that public health really appreciates the kind of service and information that we're able to provide, and they want to make sure that it is accessible to more people. Our activity really bumped up in the beginning of November when the cases just started to soar. We're starting to see some of what we call the COVID-related DLAN calls dropping off a little bit. And we're still doing a lot of business to support the library activities. We place a lot of holds. We are helping people with curbside and answering the kinds of questions that we did when we were open. For some of our users, they're getting the same kind of service that they always have in terms of their interactions with library staff. I'm happy to entertain any questions.
This
All
is
right.
Erin. I have no questions, but just want to kudos to the library staff. Just it's phenomenal, the flexibility and the way to continue to provide value to the community. Thank you.
And then we also have been working really hard, working with the day center. With a COVID outbreak, we've had to modify operations, and that's continuing to change as the county is also modifying their services because we just need more space for isolation as well as the day center. We just need to have more space between people while we're experiencing this outbreak. So that's taken a lot of time as we've worked through that. But I really cannot say enough good things about, because you may recall we contracted out those services to a local nonprofit, and many of their staff went out with COVID. And so we actually had library volunteers who volunteered to step back in to that space and work at the day center. So really cannot say enough good things about the whole team. Any questions?
It's just wonderful work. Kudos to the library. And speaking of kudos, then we'll move on to sharing strengths. Lots of kudos to go around here. The Medal of Honor for going above and beyond was given to Audrey and the library staff. Omar, our board member, received the Champion of Diversity Award. And we had connections with other winners too. From the Seed Library was mentioned. And we partner with April Suter in the Ready to Lead program. And we partner with Elaine Case, all of whom were recognized by the mayor recently. So this amazing work, and it's great to see everyone's hard work acknowledged and recognized here.
That's amazing.
Congratulations, everyone.
Yeah,
was watching it.
congratulations.
And I kept getting excited because I know 4 people, 2 of them, April and Peg, are my next door neighbors. And then I was like, Omar, and in the library. It was a great night to watch because I got to see so many of the people that I work with being celebrated. So congratulations to Omar and to Audrey in the library for all the amazing work. And
It really is a nice way to end 2020, isn't it?
it is.
Yes, it
So
is.
nice.
And I love that the library staff was mentioned specifically because I'm sure you'd agree, Audrey, it is a team effort and wouldn't be possible without everyone's pitching in. So
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I was so glad it was the whole team. Yep.
love it. It's amazing. Congratulations to everyone. Any further comments tonight? Questions? Okay, I would just like to thank everyone. It's been a great year. It's been an interesting year, and it's been a year that's been challenging in its own ways, but I really appreciate everyone's work on the library board and the staff of the library. Just fantastic. So happy holidays to everyone, and thank you. We are adjourned.
Thank you.
Happy holidays. Thank you.
Thank you for having me again, everyone. Happy holidays to you all.
Yes, and welcome, Kristen, and thanks, Amy. Okay, good night, everyone.
Night.
Good night.
Aaron?
I did not hang up. Well, I did.
Okay.
Right back.
Yep.